Kyle Busch has always been a great driver in the Cup Series, but he never had the right crew chief to really get to that next level and win a championship. But that all changed in 2015 when he was paired with Adam Stevens. And ever since, it's just been magic, just like Kevin Harvick and Rodney Childers or Martin Truex Jr. and Cole Pearn. They're just the class of the Cup Series, and no one else has really been able to come close to their success. It's a reason why Kyle Busch has the most wins of the 2010s decade. It's because of Adam Stevens and also Kyle Busch just being a good driver. And now we'll get to the infamous part of this video with Kyle Busch's 2015 championship season. In 2015, Kyle Busch had 5 wins, 12 top 5s, 16 top 10s, a 10.8 average finish, 2 DNFs, and 736 laps led, all in just 25 starts. And now Kyle Busch missed 11 races because in an Xfinity race at Daytona, he hit a wall without any safer barrier on it, and he broke both his legs, and therefore he had to miss some races. And NASCAR gave him a playoff waiver, and he was able to race for the championship. And ultimately, he came through when it mattered most. He had a 9.8 average finish in the chase, even with a crash at Loudon that relegated him to about 33rd. And if he didn't have that, it would have been a 6.8 average finish. So about a 3-position increase, which means that even though he missed almost a third of the season, he still was able to pull through when it mattered most, and he won a championship, which I don't blame him for doing. I blame NASCAR for letting that type of crap happen. So in his first year with Adam Stevens, Kyle Busch won the championship, and 10 years with other crew chiefs, he only managed to get up to 4th place in 2013, which tells me that Adam Stevens really lifted up Kyle Busch to become that elite driver that we all know today, and that really unlocked his potential and let him become the man that has won the most races in the 2010s decade. And now we get to 2016, where Kyle Busch had 4 wins, 17 top 5s, 25 top 10s, an 11.5 average finish, 5 DNFs, 1,379 laps led, and only finished outside the top 10 once in the chase, and that was the 30th place at Talladega. And as we all know, Talladega is just a crapshoot along with Daytona, and it's easy for a lot of people to get either caught up in somebody else's wreck or just get screwed out of a good finishing place. This was Kyle Busch's second year of Adam Stevens, and he made it to the Final Four again, but ended up finishing 3rd behind Joey Logano and Jimmy Johnson, which Jimmy Johnson is probably one of the least deserving champions in the decade that year in 2016, considering he didn't even finish in the top 10 half the season. He only had 16 top 10s. So the fact that he won that championship over people like Kevin Harvick, Joey Logano, or Brad Keselowski, or even Kyle Busch, that's just a travesty. And just another reason why the chase system is just a failure and should be scrapped. In 2017, Kyle Busch had 5 wins, 14 top 5s, 22 top 10s, an 11.5 average finish, 4 DNFs, 2,023 laps led. And it also took him 20 races to win this year, which I believe is the second longest of his career, of course, after the miserable year that has been 2020. Kyle Busch in 2017 probably had the fastest car at Homestead, especially in the final 20 laps, as he went from being behind Martin Truex Jr. By 2 seconds. In a matter of about 5 laps, he went down to 9/10 of a second, but then he just kind of stalled behind him. And even if Kyle Busch won the 2017 championship, I don't really think he would have been the right person to win it, especially after the year Truex had. He had 7 wins, like 2,200 laps led that year. He just flat out dominated. He probably could have won 10 plus races. And in my years of watching NASCAR, that was probably the most dominant season I've ever seen by someone, and probably the most dominant season in the 2010s. I don't know. You guys can argue in the comments below about the most dominant season, but for me, Martin Truex Jr. in 2017 just the field was basically his toy, and he just did whatever he wanted. So basically, once again, Kyle Busch came up short in his third straight year in the Final Four, and he just wasn't the best guy all year, but soon enough in 2018, that was going to change. In 2018, Kyle Busch had 8 wins, 22 top 5s, 28 top 10s, an 8.3 average finish, 3 DNFs, 1,469 laps led. Kyle Busch this year is part of the Big Three with Martin Truex Jr. and Kevin Harvick, and they just flat out dominated that year. And in 2018, the Big Three in total had 20 wins, and they were all famously defeated by Joey Logano at Homestead after a late restart allowed his short run car to just rocket away on the outside of Martin Truex Jr., and that led to Logano claiming his first championship over people who really deserved it a lot more. Logano definitely deserved to be in the Final Four, but he just wasn't the best driver all year. That was either Kyle Busch or Kevin Harvick. Considering Kyle Busch had the best average finish, I'd probably give the nod to him, and also because I'm biased since he's my favorite driver. But that's just another reason why the NASCAR playoffs are a joke when they have a one-race system to decide who can be a champion. Because you get flukes like 2018 or 2015 or 2016, or really most of the years that we've had a single-race format to decide the championship. But, alas, in 2019, Kyle Busch would avenge himself and he would claim his second championship. And then 2019, he had 5 wins, 17 top 5s, 27 top 10s, an 8.9 average finish, only 2 DNFs, 1,582 laps led, and he won his second championship in his 5th straight Final Four appearance. And he also had a quite famous 20-race winless streak. So in 2019, Kyle Busch had won 4 races in the first 13 races, and then he went winless all the way up until race 36, where he came in clutch, and he won the Homestead race to claim his second championship over Martin Truex Jr., where his team put the wrong tires on the wrong side, so he put right side tires on the left side and left side tires on the right. And then Denny Hamlin his team put a piece of tape on the grill that was just gigantic. So that just killed his championship hopes. And Kevin Harvick took a gamble that there would be a late race caution, and there wasn't one because of that horrible aero package. So he just kind of was left to dry in 10th, even though he was extremely fast. So Kyle Busch had that long winless drought, but he could have actually won a lot more times if he had just some more luck. Like at Phoenix, he had to stay behind Denny Hamlin in order to let him advance into the championship 4. And at Kansas, he also probably could have won if he had some better restarts in the final portion of the race. And also Darlington, if the aero package wasn't so crap, I bet he could have probably passed Eric Jones for that win. And also Kentucky, if he had managed to beat out Kurt Busch in that amazing finish that I watched live. That was a very fun race to see. Even though I'm a Kyle Busch fan, to see Kurt Busch win over him was just amazing. And it was almost like a redemption for the Bristol race earlier when Kyle triumphed over Kurt. And now I'll do a recap of Kyle Busch's career with Adam Stevens versus the rest of his years racing in the top series of NASCAR. With Adam Stevens in 5 years, he had 31 wins, an average of 6 per year at a rate of 18%, 82 top 5s, which is an average of 16 per year rounded down, a rate of 48%, 118 top 10s, which is an average of 24 rounded up at a rate of 70%, 7,189 laps led, an average of 1,438 rounded up, average finish of 10.2 out of 5 years, 16 poles in 5 years, which is an average of 3 per year, and a rate of 9%. And he won 2 championships in 5 years, and both have been at the start of the decade with Adam Stevens and the end of the decade with Adam Stevens. So he won in his first year with Adam Stevens in the 2010s and in his last year with Adam Stevens in the 2010s. Then Kyle Busch's 10 years with other crew chiefs, he had 25 wins, which is an average of 3 per year rounded up, at a rate of 7% rounded up, 118 top 5s, which is an average of 12 per year, at a rate of 33%, 178 top 10s, which is an average of 18 rounded up, at a rate of 49%, 10,242 laps led, which is an average of 1,024 rounded down, an average finish of 14.9 throughout 10 years, 16 poles in 10 years, which is an average of 2 per year, and a rate of 4%. And he also had no poles in 2007, and he had 0 championships in 10 years with other crew chiefs and had a highest finish of 4th. And so what does all this mean? To me, it means that Adam Stevens was finally the right crew chief for Kyle Busch, who could unlock his full potential and really exploit all his strengths to make sure that he could be a Cup Series champion. And it shows that in the first year of his new crew chief, he literally won the championship. And in 5 years, he won 2 championships, while in 10 years with other crew chiefs, he won 0. And I bet that in 2008, if Kyle Busch had Adam Stevens, he probably would have been able to have a more complete postseason and possibly challenge for the championship more than he did. Because if you remember, he basically imploded in the postseason because of crashes and engine failures, which really just screwed him over and totally derailed a season that he was part of a big 3 with Jimmy Johnson and Carl Edwards. And that's about all I have to say for today. I thank you guys for watching this video. And please just let me know if you want to see more videos like this in the future, and just tell me your thoughts in the comments below.